All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, live from my third office, Starbucks. Had to get out of the house. At least when I get out of the house, I feel like I am getting away from the usual, getting away from the monotony of looking at the computer, looking at my phone. And then inevitably, what sucks is that no matter where you go, almost everywhere you go on the internet, you're going to find news. It's going to pop up in your face. You're going to see it. Good morning, everybody. You're going to see it. There's no way around it. So the only thing you can do is just completely cut off. I mean, either that or make sure that you visit sites that have absolutely nothing to do with the news. And I mean, even like cooking shows or, kids shows, they're all the same now. It's like, oh, the coronavirus, stay at home, mom's special kids helper, stay at home recipe, you know. Missed that place. Never thought I would say that, but I do. Yeah, let me tell you something. I do not. I as much as I am American, I love America. No matter what the problems, I do love my country. I'm an American. Okay, and say what you will about the place, but I love my country. I'm an American, and that's all there is to it. Now I'm an American in Bangkok, and you know what? I'm really happy that I'm here because, to be completely honest, all the stuff going on there would probably drive me nuts. I don't feel bad for these looters and rioters who have been shot dead. I feel worse for the people like the protesters who are really doing nothing more than protesting, and also the store owners, the market owners, whatever they might be, who have to deal with these people. They're just coming out of the coronavirus and starting to get better and opening up and spending money on. I mean, even Starbucks has spent money. It doesn't look like they've spent a whole lot, but they're not making as much money. And so these places are getting ready to open up, and you got these people, whatever you want to call them, whatever adjective you want to use, and they go and destroy things for people. And this is not what, like I said the other day, this is not about George Floyd. This is about something more. And I'll tell you what, the people that I've seen, the majority of people that I have seen on TV have either been young or middle-aged, and I mean middle-aged like most are not more than about 40. Yes, there's some older people here and there, but the vast majority are young. And it's always the young people who effect the change eventually. I mean, this kind of change, of course, but I think these people, most of them got their heads up their asses. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And people have compared it, they've compared it to Hong Kong. This is nothing like Hong Kong. This is just wanton violence for no reason. And I'm not speaking of the police, because the police in the United States have committed some acts that are just inexcusable. And you would think that these dummies would learn. And I'm all for the police. I back the police. I think the police need to be strong. They need to be out there and have a presence. And I think they need to get to know the community. And I had a guy, this guy Joe, I don't know if he emailed me or not, but he wanted to talk. He was an ex-LAPD cop. He had just retired, 24 years in service. So I was hoping I'd get to talk to him, but so far I think he missed the stream, and he just and he didn't, I don't know, for whatever reason, he didn't check up on the message or didn't want to email me, I don't know. But He's been watching the channel for a while, and I still think, uh, that the vast majority of cops, given the choice between doing right and wrong, they'll do right. However, what I also think is that there is definitely a culture. They've got they're basically a huge gang that is there to enforce the law, and there's a lot of bad people out there. But you can't have cops that are bad cops, and you can't have a systemic uh, uh, group of people, an organization, systemic or organization that systemically is committing acts of violence. And you know, I don't know how prevalent this is because I haven't been there in a long time. I know there is still racism in America for sure. Now, people say that it's all against the blacks and it's the white cops against the blacks, but I don't think that's true because I think that if you look at the statistics, they're fairly even, and even not black on white, but crimes committed against Caucasians tends to be higher than against Latinos and blacks. Now, I've seen so many different statistics. I don't know what's right at this point. And, I'm at the point now where, like, I can't even watch this stuff because I don't know what to believe. I don't know what's true, what's not true. And I think that's another part of the system that we're not going to get rid of it. It ain't going away, I hate to say. Now, as far as me not having a gun here, yeah, I don't like it. If I had it my way, I'd have, a couple of double barrels and a couple of handguns. I'm not against owning a gun. I think being safe with a gun, having a safe or having it in a very safe place if you don't have children, and knowing how to use it, and I think that that's important. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. There are accidents, blah, 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 blah. So, oh, God. Yeah, well. Yeah, and let's not get carried away with any kind of racist talk or bullshit talk because it's not going to work on here, first of all, because nobody's going to allow it. You're just going to get reported and banned. And, there's no point in this. This is the thing. I don't see the point. Well, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to start there. What I will say is this. This cop has a lot of complaints against him. And I would think that you would consider him a bad cop before he did this to George Floyd. I would think that you would have considered him a bad cop or a very troubled cop who was on the verge of being booted out. Now, his wife's already changed. She's petitioning for a divorce, or she's already in the process of divorcing him. She's also in the process of having her last name changed, and I don't blame her one bit. I wouldn't want to have that last name. I mean, every person in America knows that last name, or all they have to do is look it up and go, "Hey, aren't you married to that guy?" And the thing that I'm finding out now is that the police unions and they're so strong that even the police chiefs are telling the mayors what they will and will not do. They are refusing to do things. Getting down on a knee? What are these people thinking? Let me get down on a knee. No, you know what? Here's the thing. The cop needs to be tried, and the people with him need to be tried. That's a separate issue. Now, all the other issues, perceived or not, the violence against African Americans by white cops. And let me tell you something, I don't think that it's true. I think if anything, it's cop on citizen, cop on, maybe it's cop on African American. But I mean, I just watched a video the other day where this woman punched a cop in the face twice. And then and she was black, and a black cop walked up from behind her, boom, hit her, knocked her out. End of the threat. You know, personally, I don't think you should ever put your hands on a police officer. Why would you do that? What kind of stupid person does that? Also, the police should not be... I think that, I've heard all this talk about all these military people coming in and being trained killers from, Afghanistan and Iraq. And let me tell you something. The number of truly trained killers in the military is very small. Can you kill? Of course. Do they show you? Yes, they do. But is it you're like an assassin? No. That's not how it works. But I've heard a lot about these people being hired by the police, and they're told it's us against them, which defeats the whole purpose of the police, which is to protect and serve. Where those police did take a knee, there was no violence. Well, here's the thing. I don't think the police should set a precedent that, hey, we feel for you, so we know you're the peaceful ones, we're going to get down on a knee. I think that sets a bad precedent. Well, actually, it's martial with a M.A., like in martial arts. So it's slightly different. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does, if this continues. And some of these governors, like, we don't need the military, we don't need the national. Yes, you do, you dummies. People are burning down your big businesses, and it's like, I don't understand the mentality of people anymore. You have somebody who gets killed by somebody, and the killer is treated better than the person who's the victim. Sometimes that happens. You have things like this where now, where's this that I just looked here? I just saw this, if I can find it. South Philly gun store owner guarding shop overnight shoots, kills armed looter. A 67-year-old South Philadelphia gun store owner shot and killed a man he said was looting his business for what he suspects is the second night in a row. He saw a group of looters on his surveillance video breaking a padlock on his gate using bolt cutters and descended on his shop in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Just after 4 a.m., he confronted the thieves, and one of them, in a group of what he says consisted of 3 or 4 people, pointed a gun at him. He shot and killed the gun-wielding robber using an AR-15, and the alleged thief died on the scene. Listen, I have no sympathy for the people or person who got shot. None. I have no sympathy for that person. If anything, go to the guy's store in the daytime and say, hey buddy, I really need a gun. I don't have much money. You got anything for like $50 or something? Help me out, man. Please. Put me on, I got a credit card, or maybe they don't have a credit card. But, whatever. Please allow me to pay you back because I need to protect my family. Okay, but what other reason does a guy have to go get a gun like that? So, I mean, I don't feel anything for these people. If they're out there doing this stuff, and especially if they're trying to commit a crime against the government of the United States. Listen, here's the thing. These people don't like Trump. They don't like what he stands for. They don't like what he's doing. I get that. Then vote him out the next term. You don't go and do these things. 2 rights don't make a wrong. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Names can always can never harm me. All these things. Think about this. Back in the day, people used to say that. Hey man, don't pay it any attention. Now, you can frustrate somebody, irritate somebody by what you say, but does that give you does that give you the right to kill someone? If that's all it takes, I could have killed a couple of people already, believe me. It would have been very easy for me. You can't shoot unarmed looters. Well, how do you know that they're unarmed? How do you know they're unarmed? So what do you got to do? You got to wait for them to lift the gun up and point it at you, and then you can shoot them? Listen, you break into a place, you get what's coming to you, man. I mean, really think about it. How many of you in here, hopefully, not a lot of you, but how many of you in here have went into someone's house and to burgle the house, went into the house and stole something from that house, whether it be a nice watch, money, diamonds, whatever it might have been? How many of you have gone in there and done that? I can tell you, if somebody did that in my house in Florida, they would end up dead or shot. For sure. I'm not going to ask questions. What's the saying? Better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6. And, I don't want to sound unsympathetic. Listen, I understand there are problems with the United States, and I've been sitting here for 25 freaking years, watch it go downhill. And believe me, it's gone downhill since I left. I used to live in California, and there was a time when I first moved to California, which was 21, about 36 years ago. Man, it was the place to go. People were like, man, summers in California, wow. Everybody's got their, the bikini on the beaches, and what a place. And it wasn't the same. At least it didn't seem the same. Now it's a freaking mess. I mean, I'm worried about people going to my parents' house in Florida. I'm worried about people going to my buddy's house in Los Angeles. And there's several people from here that are in California, in the chat that's in California. So, what gives these people the right to think that they can just go and do whatever they want? I don't get it, man. If I broke into, it doesn't, see, I don't want to look at the color and all that. I do think everybody should be treated equal. Simple. Now if you're not an American and you're living there illegally, I don't think you should be treated equally. I don't think you should get shit. Now, if you're a migrant worker, I think you should be put on some kind of a temporary visa or work permit or whatever it is. And I think you should be treated equal while you're there. Just like people in Thailand here that are here on retirement visas, marriage visas, business visas. I think that they should be treated the same. But if they're there illegally and it's like, well, I'm hiding out and if they catch me, I'm going to get deported. They don't deserve anything. Certainly don't deserve any money. Well, I saw this thing about some 20-year-old kid who burned a police car. And it's like the family turned him in. I can only imagine. My kid's my kid, well, Alex will be, what is he? He's 19. So he'll be 20 next year. And I think Alex going and doing something like that, I don't know what's got into these people. And you know what? To be honest, I did a video a while ago about, what was it called? The 20 reasons or something like that I'll never move back to America. Something like that. Let me see if I can find it real quick. And, I made that video, or it was 2 videos, I think. And to be completely honest, you never know what's going to happen. So, what is this here? Okay, let's see. I've got it right here. No, it's not found. Let me redo it here. Anyway, how long ago did I make this? But I can't find it on my own. I can't find it on my own channel. Anyway, it was something like 22 reasons I won't ever move back to America. And you know what? I could look over here. And at the time, I thought of the reasons I won't be moving back. But that said, there was always part of me going, I don't know, maybe I'd move back. Here it is right here. Let's see. This is the first part. This is a long time ago. How long ago was this? This was October 8th, 2013. Okay, so almost 7 years ago. It was 10 reasons why I won't go back to America or leave Thailand. I don't even remember the 10 reasons. I'm sure I could remember if I looked and if I listened real quick, I could start to think of what the reasons were. But I made that video and I knew there was always a chance, and there's always a chance I'd move back now. But to be completely honest, now, moving back to the United States, nah, I can't see it happening. Something happens here. There are other options. There are options for people. And this is the thing. I don't know where Richard is, but I know he wants to get over to like Vietnam, Cambodia, whatever. Same with Longhorns wants to get over. They want to get away from this. They want to chill. They want to relax. And the only reason that I'm not more relaxed about it is because I'm streaming and I've got a channel and all this other kind of stuff. Listen, I've been going through this BS from before Hong Kong. Hong Kong was a great experience, but it was also a miserable experience. Because it just, what's the word? When you dig in deeper, it embedded in my head and forced me to remember just how bad people can be. And to be honest, they're not that bad. Certainly the protesters are not that bad at all. And some people have compared Hong Kong to America, and it's complete horseshit. There's nothing similar. The Hong Kong protesters, the few that did become violent or commit acts of vandalism or destruction, they destroyed property. Those people targeted companies that were part of the communist system. They didn't target those people and then steal from them. They just destroyed their property. They burned their property. Okay, it's not good, but they didn't go after Hong Kongers. They went after China. They're out for their freedom. At this point, because China has reneged on the deal that they made with with Great Britain, then they figure, hey, screw it. You know what? We want our freedom. We want our independence. So there's a huge difference. And you got these people. Listen, if you want to protest, that's one thing. But when you start destroying public property, when you start burning police cars, when you start beating up police officers, when you think you have the, and I'll tell you what I think, people have far less respect for one another in the United States than they did at one time. It used to be people respected the police, and they don't blame it on, oh, the systematic racism and violence by the police. No, that's not what it has to do with. It has more to do with that, what do they call it? Not segregation, I'm trying to think, gender, what do they call it? I'm blanking out now. You know, when they set an area up to be one set of people, one, I'm locked up here. Gentrification. You have this gentrification going on, and you have police that don't even live in the neighborhood. What happened to the neighborhood when to the times when the police officers walked the beat? What happened to when there was respect? When people could talk to the cop and it wasn't all about me against him. Oh shit, this guy might beat me up. Listen, I don't feel like a cop's going to beat me up, either here or anywhere else. And if they do, guess what? I hate to say this, but what am I going to do? Let me tell you one thing. If you fight back and you want to try to beat the police, 99.9999999% of the time, you are going to lose. They are going to beat the holy hell out of you. So it's better to take a whack or two, whether deserved or not, and just stop. Don't fight back. And I've never had that kind of violence. What have I done to deserve it? Now, I'm white. Some people may say that. Well, you're white, so it's never going to happen to you. Oh, bullshit. I don't buy into all the white privilege. I don't buy into all this shit. What about how people work hard to get where they are in their life? And one thing that, when it comes to me, when it comes to the life that I live, I did set out to do this. I did set out to move to Thailand because I didn't want to deal with the stress. I was making good money when I left. I didn't want the stress of I just thought to myself, Jesus Christ, it's day in, day out. And then I get to go out for a nice dinner on the weekend with my girl and have some champagne. And then what? I got to go back to work every minute of every day. All right, let's see here. Maybe all those prisoners they released because of the virus are taking part in the riots. How's the situation near you? Antifa. Yes, Antifa. Dallas has a curfew. Well, there are a lot of places where they are not abiding by the curfew. Curfew is not stopping them in Washington, D.C. And then, so they're not abiding by the curfew. They're not abiding by the curfew. And then, of course, Trump wants to bring in the military because he's worried that the Secret Service and the police can't handle the number of people that might be coming in. So he calls in the military, and what happens to him? The media just shits all over him. Let me tell you something. I have absolutely no respect for CNN. At least Fox, as biased as they can be at times, towards Trump, for Trump. As biased as they can be, at least they will call him on certain things. They'll call him out. They'll question him. They will do things. CNN is just I can't even, I'm so pissed off at CNN. Every time I look at them, I just think, what a bunch of shills. It's like you got this, you have Trudeau, Justin Trudeau. He was asked about Trump's handling of the protest. So he sat there for a few minutes contemplating what he was going to say. And they're making a big deal about it. They're also, look at this, the cowardice of White House officials in one quote. So wait a minute, there's cowardice in the White House. How did they know? Now this is an analysis. They did, to their credit, they did put analysis next to it. But they're saying that him holding a Bible in front of St. John's Church the official, who they didn't name, of course. I've never been more ashamed. I'm really honestly disgusted. I'm sick to my stomach, and they're all celebrating it. They're very proud of themselves. No, why don't you, this guy, it's like, hey, listen, I don't care if he is an official, if it's real, which I would doubt. I really doubt it is. But even if it is true, first of all, dude, you shouldn't be talking to the press like that. Second of all, did he ever think that there's a reason? There's a reason why they did what they did? No, they don't do that. They won't do that. And listen, I'm all for people being able to criticize the president. I don't care if it's Trump or whoever it is. With all the BS in the U.S., I'll still pick the U.S. over Thailand to live. However, I still enjoy visiting Thailand on a regular basis. If we're shitty, then shitty is great. The irony of this situation is seeing who's doing most of the looting. It's no wonder. Police profile people. It just proves the point for everyone to see. I mean, pretty much. You know, and listen, I got no problem with them shooting white people if they're out looting businesses. And they think it's funny to go in and rob places and burglarize and steal big TVs and stereo equipment and guns and all this other kind of stuff. They think this is acceptable. Hey man, you come into my house, believe me, and you're not allowed in the house. I'm gonna beat the living hell out of you. And if I can't, there's gonna be a little something I got a couple little things around the house that once you get hit with it one time, that's it. It's over. Your life is over. It will never be the same again. You know. Because you don't have the right to come into somebody's house. And if that means it's their business, you don't have that right. You just don't. You know. No, I don't think anybody is justifying what this cop did. Now, here's the other thing. You got one corner with the government, with the connected to the police, to the county, who says that there were underlying conditions that the knee to the neck may have contributed to his death. Okay. That sounds like poppycock to me. It sounds like they're just trying to make it sound as if he had many other things. He was going to die anyway. And then you have the family's independent report that said flat out, no, he died because he didn't have air. So how are you going to? This is the problem today. Who do you know? How do you know who to believe? Yesterday I watched a movie, and you can find it on YouTube. I watched a movie. I've seen it before, but I wanted to watch it again. I watched the movie 1984, and how those people lived, and how the one particular guy, Winston Smith, how he lived. And I just see it. And I'm like, listen, if they don't curb the police, people are going to start shooting the police, and they're going to start bringing it up in court. Hey, what, I mean, how many times have you seen videos where the police come into somebody's house, they just decide they're going to walk right in. Nobody lets them in. Nobody says it's okay to come in. They don't have a warrant, and yet they come in, and then they try to justify it, and they try to weasel their way out of it. Now, I'm not saying all cops do this, for sure. Like I said, I prefer to side with the cops because let me tell you something. If you ever need a cop, and there isn't one there, you're screwed. If you need a cop and he's there, he might just be your best friend. He might be a really understanding, good person. And I've met a few in my life. I haven't come into contact with, hundreds and hundreds of police officers, but hey, Johnny, what's happening? Listen, the thing that these people who are committing violent acts, who are committing destructive acts, the thing that they forget is that what they're doing has absolutely no bearing on It's not going to bring back George Floyd. It's not going to make the police say, oh, wow, you know, we really made them mad and now they're burning places down. We better not do this again. No, that's not going to do it because it's happened over and over again. Now, I don't know how many people who were Caucasians have died because of something like this. You know, like a black cop doing something like that to them. I don't know. Maybe I need to take some time. Maybe I'll do that over this weekend. And I will see, you know, what the statistics show. Then it's like, okay, well, can you believe the statistics? And I saw that even in Australia, they're starting to march because people are pissed off at how the Aboriginals have been treated. Okay, perhaps rightly so. I haven't looked into the history. I know that there are a lot of people who feel they've been mistreated. But now I'm starting to see that people are calling out for reparations to blacks because of slavery. And I'm like, what the fuck? Get the are you serious? I mean, you know, that was how long ago now? 135, 155 years ago. $155 years ago, and they want reparations. Hey, you know what? I want reparations because my family hails from the UK, right, and France. I wanted to be a European, so now I want some reparations because my family was forced over to the United States to have a better life or whatever. I mean, you know, anybody can say this shit. Why don't you just worry about right now? Let's fix the problem right now. Reparations isn't going to do shit. The rioters could care less about George Floyd. They just saw it as an opportunity to riot and loot with little chance of getting caught. Now my nose is bad. Sad what happened, but what's going on now is not about Mr. Floyd. Of course not. This has been going on for decades. And so it's not about what's happening right now, what's happening with what happened with George Floyd. Now I would say there probably is some kind of cop culture, definitely. From what I've heard, from what I know, yeah, there's a cop culture, you know. They've talked about it many, many times. That needs to be addressed. You know, what happened to trespassers will be shot on sight, something like that. You know, I mean, what? You're not allowed to do that anymore? Now you're not allowed to protect your property? I mean, it's gotten out of hand. It's like, hey, listen, if it's my land and you accidentally come in and I say, what are you doing here? And you don't have a good answer, get your ass off. Then if I see you again, you're dead meat, you know. And I don't like to think that way. But, you know, some people, I said it the other day. The only way I know how to say it. If you've got a big bear or a big lion 20 feet away from you and he's looking at you and you're looking at him and you got a gun and it's a big gun, you can kill him. What are you going to do? You're going to let him just run at you and he's going to maul you and maybe eat you? No. Just shoot his ass. The minute he flinches or even before then, you're going to shoot him dead. You know. Listen, and the politics have gotten so out of hand, and I don't know that Trump would be this bad if the left and the mainstream media, every single mainstream media site that you go to, all they do is vilify the guy. Everything is negative. They never, ever want to talk about the positive. Now, the other thing we haven't been talking about is George Soros. Yeah, okay, sailing Aquarius around the world. I'm sorry, it is your land if you buy it. That's why they give you a deed and you're allowed to live there. So you can retract that statement, but the truth is what it is. In most cases, it is your land. You're not renting the land. You know, I mean, you pay taxes on the land, yeah, okay. That doesn't mean you don't own the land. If you don't pay the taxes, then the government takes your land. And where are all the celebrities and pro athletes requesting the people to stop the violence? No, what they're doing, well, that's what I just said. If you don't pay the tax, they take it back. Because there is a tax on your land, just like there is a tax on many other things. Okay, I understand all about the tax part, but what I'm saying is, hey, it's a part of the system. You need to pay tax on what you own. Cops do have a problem, not all, but too many abuse their power, yes. And here's the thing with the celebrities. Why are celebrities going and bailing out these protesters? Why are they bailing them out? I mean, they have the right to do it, but why aren't they talking about the rioters who are doing what they're doing, and why aren't they saying, hey, listen, you guys need to stop this. This is too much. Why is protesting when you're losing your job or business during COVID bad, but protesting now is good? Because in the beginning, at least, if you're protesting about those things, you're doing so and it's a health hazard, supposedly. I don't know what side everybody's sitting on, but some people don't even believe it's a health hazard. I know one guy in particular who vehemently swears that it has absolutely nothing, it's no worse than the flu or whatever, and that we never really needed to shut down. And here's the other thing. Here's the big thing. All these people are protesting, and they're angry. These people are angry about being told to stay at home. Now, listen, I don't have a problem with staying at home in the beginning because you're wondering what's going on, or it's the safest way. One thing that I learned, and I learned this from when I fell from the 4th floor during the fire that I was in. You wait until you absolutely can't wait any longer, because you stay put as long as you can in a safe place while you're alive, until you can't any longer. When I was in that fire, there was smoke from the 1st floor, there was smoke on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor. I was on the 4th floor. We're standing out there. They're trying to get people down. I'm thinking, hey, we got to get down now. The truth is, I got down. When the rope broke and I fell, I went to the hospital, and they brought some rickety platform, and they started dropping people from their hands, and people were catching kids, my kid. But if I had just stayed put and I just didn't go anywhere, I didn't think, man, I better get down there and try to help my family. If I just thought, hey, wait a minute, we're okay right now. When it gets to the point where I've got like 2 minutes to get down and do something, or 5 minutes, whatever, I got to give myself a deadline, I could have done that. I could have just waited. And guess what? I wouldn't have suffered the injuries I suffered. I wouldn't have had to go through the hell that I went through for a year. Just stay put. So when they say during a virus, hey, just stay inside. Okay, stay inside. After a while, you go, hey, listen, for me, I look at Thailand and I go, man, there's been there was one day where they had 9 people, and they were all people who had come back from outside of Thailand. Yesterday, there was 1 person and 1 death. The day before that, I don't think there was anybody, and there was no deaths. There were no new cases. Now, what I didn't know, and I said this, I think, a couple days ago, is that I have a little app on my phone. If I really want to go by the system. I hit a button. It signs me in, checks me into the mall. When I want to go out, I got the same little app. I just, boom, hit it. I don't have to scan anything. I don't have to do anything. But I can tell you that at this point, people are just walking in. They're walking out. They don't give a shit. There's ways around it. You go across the street. You go across on the overpass right here. And you can go across in the overpass and go through the next building, which is Happy Land Center. And you have to scan in. Or you can go right down the stairs, and there's people selling food all next to the building. None of them are wearing masks. They might have their mask on, but they have it down. You have all these people. What's the difference between going in there, in a place where everybody's got plastic between them, you got masks on, and going downstairs, and okay, you're out in the open, but you're up against a wall, basically on the sidewalk. And there's all these people, and they're not wearing masks. You're walking down the street, people are walking by you, mask, no mask, mask, no mask. You know, but what are you going to do? You want to fight the system? You fight the system. Otherwise, you know, what am I going to do? I'm going to go down, burn down the building because I don't like to have to wear a mask? You know, I mean, all this is just such bullshit. It's like, just stop yelling at each other. Stop screaming at each other. Stop hitting each other. That's, you know, and if you didn't hear me say cop, you didn't hear me say, you know, you didn't hear me say black, white, whatever. It's all designed to take down Trump media bullshit, plain and simple. Well, you know, if you look at some of the website, some of the sites of the news and the physical papers, yeah, it sure seems like that. They never have a good thing to say. Whether it's good or not, I want to know the truth. I've been saying this for a long time. I want to know the truth. I don't want to know their opinion. And if I do, they get one editorial a day. They put it to the side. It's off on the side, whatever, editorial, whatever. I don't want to know 50 different analyses, and I don't want them sneaking stuff through. And they do that all the time. There's a big difference between peaceful protest and outright chaos and looting. Definitely. Listen, you should not have to put the word peaceful in front of protest. If you're going to protest and you want to act violently, then don't bitch to me. And don't bitch because you get shot in the head, you got hit with a baton or whatever. Now, I will say something else. I know several people, many, many people now. I mean, a dozen. They're photographers and they're journalists. They're photographers and they're journalists, and they are covering this. The one guy who I said, one guy I know him very well, you know, pretty well, from Hong Kong. He was there the whole time that I was there. He didn't go anywhere because he's from the U.S. and lives in the U.S. He was running, trying to cover things, and he saw the cops coming. He said, "Press, press, press." Cop hit him in the ass with the baton, knocked him down. Okay, listen, I didn't like that when the Hong Kong police did it, and I damn sure wouldn't like it if somebody in the United States, a cop in the United States from wherever, did it to me. I wouldn't like it. Then he got his jaw broken by protesters. Protesters, not cops. Got his jaw broken, got a tooth knocked out. He had to have surgery on his jaw. He has 3 plates, metal plates in his jaw now to hold his jaw together. These are protesters. These are not rioters. These are people that were in the midst of protesting, and they thought he was a cop. He's not a cop. You're kidding me. This guy is not a cop. He's nowhere near a cop, believe me. You know, and he's only one. I know many, many people now. Every day, I've got, you know, I'm on WhatsApp. I'm in a couple of groups. I'm on Telegraph. I'm on a Telegram. I'm on a couple of groups, and every single one of them, people that I was staying with, I either get messages from them, or I see their messages saying this happened to me, that happened to me. Now these are guys. Some of them I don't agree with what they say or what they believe in, and some of them are just straight up photographers. They're there to take photos. Cops don't want them taking photos. which is, tough shit. Be afraid. Afraid of what? I'm afraid for my country. I'm not afraid here. I mean, which is why I'm not going back. I'm not afraid here. Hundreds of thousands of businesses are being destroyed. Peaceful, yeah. You should not have to put peaceful in front of protests. You should not have to put undocumented in front of immigrants. They are either a legal immigrant or they are an illegal immigrant, and an illegal immigrant basically doesn't belong there. And if they are working as a migrant or a seasonal worker or something like that, then either they need to get some kind of a work permit, temporary, whatever, visa, and it's the whole system is screwed. Pussygate, Pissgate, yeah, okay. Endless media manipulation. Yeah, it's so funny that nobody is ever saying anything on the left now, on the mainstream media rather, that's talking about how, maybe that this whole Russia collusion was a crock of shit and they just screwed up. None of them say that. The way CNN portrays it's like their headquarters in Atlanta or whatever. It wasn't ever attacked. This happened in the suburbs, not in the big cities. I think Obama has to take... Listen, let me tell you something. Not only Obama, the presidents before. This has been going on for a long time. And I'm going to say something, and it might, anger some people, but I really don't give a shit. What about all the blacks that are using the N-word when they speak about themselves? If a white person or a Latino uses that word and it's considered degrading, then why is it okay for another black person to say it? Listen, if you don't want other people to call you that, then don't call yourself that. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like me, I don't call myself a honky because I don't feel the need to. But, and if somebody else called me a honky, like some black person called me a honky, I'm not going to throw down over it. I'm not going to throw down over much right now or ever again. I'm a little too old for that. I don't want to do that. That's not good conflict resolution. But the point is, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Media says everyone misses Obama. Yeah, well, fuck the media. Let me tell you something. There was a point where when I really got into writing about boxing and travel, that I thought if I kick it up a notch, I could get my name out there and not just be known for boxing and a little bit of travel. I could really do it. Wow, I could make something of myself. And when I see this kind of stuff, I'm like, when I have seen it and when I've seen the change in America, I was like, listen, there's always going to be people that like me and always are going to be people that hate me. And that's why, when I get all thumbs down and I get 50 thumbs down before I even start a stream, I don't care. At this point, I don't even give a shit. It doesn't matter because, like I've said for a long time, all that matters is that, the family's taken care of. We got a roof over our head. We have some sort of progress and happiness in our life, and we're healthy, somewhat healthy. That's all that matters. Everything else, it's gravy. If not for the CCP virus, I'd be on my way to Thailand next week. Yeah, and this is going to affect travel for many years. I can't see the Thais just releasing the requirements and just stopping the requirements to come here, where you don't have to have $100,000, you don't have to have COVID insurance, you don't have to quarantine for 2 weeks, which is going to cost you, say, $1,200 to $2,000 on top of whatever you spend once you're here. And then if you go back to certain countries, depending on where you're coming from, you're going to have to quarantine again. You may have to. Whether you hate him or not, Trump has done more in the last several presidents for minorities than executive orders. They say that Russiagate was a crock. Well, yeah, I believe it was. I'm proud honky farang too. Well, I gotta say, I don't like the word farang. In Myanmar, it's not nanginchada. In Laos, it's baksida. In Cambodia, it's what is it in Cambodia? I can't even think right now. What do they call you in Cambodia? You're a foreigner? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I haven't been there so long that I can't remember. Let me see something here. Oh, by the way, if you like this stream and you like the videos that I put out and what I've done, yes, bule in Indonesia, barang in Cambodia, and, yeah, Howley boy. Hey, Howley boy. Howley boy. I used to be tight with a couple of Hawaiians when I was like 18 years old for a couple years. I had a little Hawaiian girlfriend for a couple of months until hey, thanks a lot there, Charles. Appreciate it. I did have a Hawaiian girlfriend, and but her father was a general. I don't think he particularly liked me very much. She did, but he didn't. Let's see here. What is it in Cambodia though? What the hell? Not Nang Yen Chada. What am I? This will drive me nuts, you know. Barang. It's just barang, yeah. Barang. Barang. Hey, Richard. I don't particularly like when they call you a farang. I don't think many of them do it in a malicious fashion. And so that's what kind of, and knowing the culture, that's what keeps me from getting pissed every time they do that. Now, what I do it in a Thai way, which is when you want to get a point across, you know, you don't do it direct head to head, like, hey, motherfucker, why are you calling me this word? I don't want you to call me that. I don't like it. You know, that's not how you address it. You just joke. You know, you just go,ผมเป็นคนต่างชาติ. Oh, I'm a foreigner, you know. I'm not farang, you know. Farang is a fruit. You know, you can say it that way. You say things like that. And then they kind of go, oh, he knows, yeah, you know, okay, I don't want to, you know, if you really take it that,คนทางประเทศ, yeah. Well, you could just say คนต่างชาติ. So, I mean, you know, whatever you choose to say, it doesn't really matter. But, you know, depending on who you believe, you know, it can be used in a derogatory fashion, and some people will say it in a derogatory way. But the point is that, you know, like, it happens all over the world. I don't care what liberals or conservatives think when I talk, but I don't try and say anything bad to people. I try to get along. Exactly. And the thing is that some people may not like what you have to say, no matter what you say. And I told this story a while ago. Farang said yes, but that comes from way back. Some people say it comes from back in East. Is it East? Yeah, East Africa. In the slave trades, with the Arabs in the slave trade, and that's where the word came from. And some people just say that it comes from the word France. It's mispronounced by the Thais. Regardless, there is a polite way of saying foreigner, and there is a slang way. And you know, like I said, I don't particularly like it, but I don't have a, you know, like most people when they say it to me, I don't think, you know, like this person's an asshole, what they're saying to me. Exactly, sticks and stones, doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter, man. Gaijin, Guaylo, yeah, all these things. People say them all over the world. You know. We love to scrap. Yeah, I know Hawaiians love to scrap, man. They're not worried. You know, it's like, hey, the whole thing is, if you get your mind, and this is why I don't want my kids to fight, like in the ring or anything, because you have to have the mindset that, hey, I'm going to fight, and it doesn't matter what happens. I'm going to take this guy's head off, and if I get knocked out trying, oh well. At least I go down on my shield. You know, I go out on my shield. That's what you have to think if you want to fight. You want to be somebody who fights? That's what you have to think, you know. It's a way of life back in the day, yeah. I don't care what... Yeah, you know, what I always think about when I think of Hawaiians fighting is Sonny Garcia. When he smacked that guy around, I forget the guy, like, you know, jumped in on his wave or whatever, and when he got to the shore, he was like, hey, you know, you disrespected me, you asshole, or something, and then smacked the shit out of the guy, you know. And it's like, some people don't realize, sometimes that kind of conflict resolution, yeah, okay, it's violent, but guess what? It does serve a purpose in some cases. I guarantee you, how many times have you heard of some guy catching a rapist in his house trying to go after his daughter? It's happened a few times just in the last year, where the father beat the holy hell out of the guy. And then the guy was like, just call the police. You know, yeah, exactly. The guy learned his lesson. You gotta respect the locals, you know, you know. Black, white, yellow, purple, don't care. Treat everybody with respect. Yeah. Why does everybody have to be labeled either a liberal or a conservative? I'm sure we have conservative. Yeah, that's true. And, you know, one thing I was trying to come to grips with just earlier today when I woke up is, I was thinking some way and I thought, wow, I sound like a liberal. You know, like I'm siding with the liberals. And I just thought, you know, here's the thing. I'm not somebody who's real extreme most of the time. I want to believe that what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. Hey, thanks a lot, Tom. Appreciate it very much. What I was going to say earlier is that for all those people who help and, you know, who contribute to the stream, you know, I appreciate it. And everything's down in the description. You know, there's all kinds of links down there. And you can go to my website at americaninbangkok.com. I do have some... I try to get both sides of what's going on in the United States. Now, throwing up some videos because I think it's important, not just my stuff, because, you know, I could just push all my stuff on the site, which is what I would usually do, but I thought about it and I thought, nah. You know, the things that are happening now with the CCP, with Hong Kong, with the United States, with the virus, they're more important than, you know, yeah, I'm talking about them, but there are other very important videos and things going on that I would like people to see. You earned respect that way, yes. The anti-Hawaii in Hawaii is vicious. Yeah, there are certain places you can't go. I know, you know. I know all about it. You know, I had a lot of people talking, but I've never been there. And believe me, I would be respectful. You know, because I don't go anywhere and act disrespectfully unless somebody acts disrespectfully to me, and then either if I can get away from the situation, I'd rather just get away. Sonny, the Somalian dude, trainer. No, Sonny is a surfer from Hawaii, and hey, thanks a lot there, SR. SR. I wanted to say something else. Hey, SR, keep it up. Thank you. I lived in one of those places a year, not too bad, but the white guys that acted disrespectful got theirs. Yeah. As long as you were respectful, you will be okay. Good to hear that. You know, listen, if I was in my 20s, I would be like, go ahead, give me a beating. Yeah, come on, let's go. I'm not anymore. You know, now I'm at the point where, like, listen, I got to come to grips with that. Very shortly, I will be what, you know, is an old man. And speaking of old man, sorry, Jono, if you're listening. Poor Jono, you know, he had his knee, he ripped his tendon in his knee when he tripped. and he's got insurance. He's had insurance. He's been paying his insurance, and now the insurance company went, sorry, buddy, but your insurance is on hold. So he tried to call him, find out what's going on, and they're supposed to get back to him. But, you know, it's like, I hate insurance companies. And, you know, it's like one little fall, one little trip, one little mistake can cause you such a headache. And, you know, this is the thing. You do one stupid thing in life, whether it's something violent or something not, and you know what's going to happen in the future, you know. Yeah, what's that guy's name? Not Jesus Salud. I forget what his name is. Filipino Hawaiian guy. I've talked to him a couple times, boxer, but so on hold, WTF. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, hey man, you know, like, and then they want him to reimburse everything, which, you know, I hate insurance companies like that. Reimburse. What are you going to do? You know, I got cancer and I'm going to have a 500,000 baht, or, you know, million baht. That's like $30,000 procedure. And, you know, I've got to come up with the money first. Listen, anybody who wants to travel over here, if you've got sufficient funds, I highly recommend William Russell Insurance. If you're fairly healthy, your price will be, it'll be a little expensive, but you got great coverage. And if you continue using them, in the long run, it's beneficial, because if you ever have a problem, there is none of this bullshit. They guarantee everything ahead of time. You don't have to, you know, come up with the cash. Insurance companies are such a freaking racket. Hardly any boxing gyms around here. I live in a major metro area. Same with traditional martial arts. It's all MMA now. Well, a lot of people, you know, they think that traditional martial arts are kind of a waste. Okay, yeah, they build character, they teach you discipline, they teach you a lot of things, but when it comes down to it, people want to know how to fight. And I wish that when I was a kid that, you know, MMA was around the way that it is now. It wasn't. Shoot boxing was like the only thing that I could, that I ever did besides wrestling when I was young. Shoot boxing, that was the big thing from Japan. 90s Gracie's changed everything. I was PAL champion and second for the Golden Gloves. Really? Wow. That's pretty good, man. My roommate at Schofield Barracks enrolled in one of the Gracie schools in Oahu. He always came back red as an apple and drained. Yeah, man. I wish I could do it. You know what? A couple of years ago, I didn't say anything to anybody, but I did go to a jiu-jitsu school on Asok. And, you know, believe me, I went in there, I'm very respectful, because if you know anything, you know that when you go into a gym, unless you are the number one guy or the number two guy, you're one of the top guys. You go in there and you start mouthing off, man, you're going to get tore apart. So I'm always very respectful. And I went in, and I wasn't able to do it because of my knees and because of my hip. I just couldn't do it. And I'm like, you know what? Something's going to happen. I'm going to get thrown or something, and I'm going to drop on my hip. I'm going to fracture my hip, and then I'm screwed. It's going to cost me, you know, $30,000, $40,000 to get it replaced. There is something I would really like to know. Thailand has 57 deaths with 66 million. U.S. has 100K. How could this happen? Yeah, a lot of people wonder that. First of all, the first thing to remember is that Thailand is not testing as much. But as I've said, if there was a huge number of people that were truly passing away from the COVID, not, you know, hey, I was 79 years old and I was sick, and then, you know, I got sick from this virus and then I died. I'm talking about if they just were dropping like flies everywhere, there would be people speaking out, and they're not. So I think it has to do with the fact that Thailand closed the borders pretty quickly, and that people have been wearing masks. And other than that, I don't know. Maybe it is the heat that has had an effect on it. Maybe it has to do with the fact that Thai people generally are very clean. They take care. They have good hygiene. Traditional martial arts were for defense, fitness, and mental, not for being a champion. Well, there is a difference between a sport and self-defense. I mean, even in the UFC and MMA, there's things you can't do. But imagine the MMA fighter doing those things: headbutting, punching, kicking, kneeing to the balls. Those kind of things. They're just even that more lethal. You don't want to mess with some guy in the UFC. That, most of them, they're going to kill you. They're going to destroy you. And it's so funny because you see some old videos of the Gracies where some guy would go in their gym and he's massive. He's huge. He's some bodybuilder. And one of their little guys he's not even a black belt, goes and taps him out like time and time and time again. MMA, there was no MMA when I was training. It was all, I did boxing, I did Muay Thai, I did karate, and I did some shoot boxing, but I didn't do a whole lot of it. And I wrestled when I was a kid, but that was 25 years ago. So, and when I came here, I trained in Muay Thai for a while. But, there's a big difference between training and fighting at a low level and doing well, whatever. And, fighting some guy who's elite, whether he's a Lumpini Stadium champion, whether he's the ONE champion, whether he's the UFC champion. You don't get to be those guys if you're not extremely talented, and you haven't worked very hard. Unless every country did exactly the same, it's hard to compare. Yeah, exactly. I kind of wonder why, why China doesn't have the same death rate now as every place else. And yet just a couple of weeks ago, they were talking about locking down the area and putting 1 million people under quarantine. Khabib. Some Navy SEALs are badasses, and I would suspect if they're really big, I'm talking about some guy who's 275, he's all muscle. They could give him a damn good go, if not beat him. But you're talking about, some guy who's like 210, who, he outweighs him by 40, 50 pounds or something like that. Somebody like that, even 60 pounds. I think generally Khabib is so skilled that he's going to do pretty damn good against anybody. That's not saying that he can't be beat, but Melinda Herman is not gonna take Khabib down. If you don't know who she is, check her out. I'm gonna give her a shout out. Melinda Herman, Fidelity Quester, you are the shout out of the day. And of course, Jono wants it once again because I want him to get well soon. Yeah. Now, one of the things that people don't think, Woody would take him. Woody would perv him out. It's just too much. Maybe there's something about the weather, heat, and humidity. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what it is, because I don't think that it kills the virus, but I think that it makes it harder for the virus to stay alive for a long period of time. Opinion on Rocky movies? Like the first one. Love the first one. Love the second one. The third one, After the second one, and my perception of the movies is different. Same with the Rambo movies. Listen, I like the very first Rambo movie. He's just some dude. He's just got out of the service. He's like, hey, man, I don't want no problems, man. Don't be messing with me. And the cops messing with him, for no reason. I don't particularly like, seeing those things. Hang on a second. We're going to say hello to the girls. Maybe they'll see us. Today we have Miss Beer. Today we have beer and we have Preo. Preo. And beer. They are your barista of the day. Gennaro. Yeah, I wish she was naked way back then. Not now. I don't want to see her naked now. Well, they're pretty busy today, I guess. There are some people here now. There are more people coming to. Hey there, Soy Dog Cowboy. Yeah, I'd like to read the book. I never did. Right now, I'm in the middle of the China RX book. I'm already pissed off. I've read about 10 pages. I'm already irritated with the, let's just go to China. Let's just send everything to China and let them take care of everything for us. But if they want to take us over and shoot everybody down, then that's okay. We won't have any way to protect ourselves, no medicine. But, they're our friends. No, they're not your friend. A live MMA party. Wait a minute. What is this? I need to look at this. Goncam? Is the Goncam active? Don't make me laugh, man. We doing a live... Who's fighting this weekend? Isn't it the chick? Is it the chick that I like? I forget. What's her name? Amanda Nunes. I like her as a fighter. Let's just be clear about that. I don't know. It depends. I got to see. It's like $25 or whatever for it's like, the fact that there is, yeah, here it is. The fact that there's nobody in the crowd means nothing. We're still charging you full price. Let's see here. I think it's $25. Yeah, it's $25. Jesus Christ. I think she's going to beat this chick Spencer pretty easily, to be honest. Anyway. What if China comes up with the vaccine first? Will they make the profits? Oh, God. I've thought about doing that, Soy Dog Cowboy, but, I don't want to have to go through the hassle of it. It's, to be honest, it's easier for me just to pay the $25 as much as I don't want to spend it. Maybe I can get, maybe I can go into you see, that's going to be a hassle too if I go into a bar. If I go into a bar and watch the fight, then, I have no way of muting it to where I can speak. You know what I mean? I know. I need to do it. That's the thing. And I forgot to send my buddy. My buddy wants to know about it too. Forgot to send it to him, but you'll have to look into it, but there is something to be said about I never have to worry. I'm just going to click on the button and get great reception and great quality of, the stream is, the video is good. The stream of the fight is good. Is being a barista a semi-respectable job? Yes, it is actually. It is a lot, but if I can get, maybe one or two other people to chip in, I got a guy going with me. We're going to be down in Pattaya, so, and there'll be a couple other people around, so maybe, so maybe, if it works out to $8 each or something, that's all right, It's no big deal, really. Is it a semi-respectable... What is this? If they make it first, why not? But if you take it first, I don't understand. But yeah, anyway, let's see, where was I? Because I'm losing my train of thought here. We're skewing away from the subject. I think I'm going to get an espresso. I had a macchiato, and I really would like an espresso. And this way, shit, I don't have enough money. Son of a... Oh, do I have to go and... I gotta charge it. Son of a bitch. I didn't want to do that. I don't have enough cash. Let's see here. Barista is a very respectable job. Big difference between a pro and a newbie. Any job is respectable. Well, yeah, you got a point there. If you're working, it's respectable. Now, as with regards to here, the girls who are working here start out and they're working full time. They're making about 15,000 a month plus benefits, and that's what makes it good for them. I just asked Preo, the girl that's over here. I just asked her how long she's been working here because it seems like she's been here forever. I mean, it seems like she's been here for a long time. But actually, she's been here 2 years. And the other girl, I don't know how long she's been here. Beer, I don't know how long she's been here. But I'm gonna go over there in a second anyway, so you guys can have your little fun for a second. Let me see if I can do this though. Yeah, well, not all of them want to do that, and those are the ones who end up, not making much money or whatever. I know several of them who, I've seen them when they were just basically starting out, or they've been here for a year or two, and then a couple years later they're managing a store, and then I know one girl, she manages the whole region now. Can we kick off Jannar? Yeah, he's a horny old bastard, horny old goat. Let me go over there. I got to see how I'm going to pay this lady. How am I going to pay the lady? Let's turn it on her because we don't want to worry about me, right? Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this here. Shit, I need to put my mask on. I gotta at least look like I'm wearing my mask. What is this? They're letting people in already? Why are they letting all these people in? Are they open? I don't think they're open. Yeah, they're open. What's today? How come they're open at 10 o'clock now? It's 10:20, so they must open at 10 now. Dong, dong, dong. Hang on a second. I don't know if she knows I'm over here. Doppio. ครับ ตอนนี้เบิด10 โมงเช้าเหรอถ้าเป็นวันหยุดจะเปิดเย็นอ๋อเป็นวันหยุดใช่ใช่ Today's a holiday, I forgot. Go to the street and ask for donations. Why do I need to do that? I don't need to do that. Let's see here. Let's see here. Put this down here. There we go. Like this is gonna do any good here. His skin is old. He can't feel the heat. Say what? Oh, come on. Oops, wrong one. All right, so, well, at least I got another, I got an espresso. Let me see here. Anyway, so getting back to the whole thing back in the U.S., I'm anxious to see what the next couple of days brings. It'll be interesting. Gennaro, I'm very sorry that I couldn't bring you more baristas from here. But, you know, she's wearing a mask too, but she's a nice girl. Yes, I am looking very much forward to Pattaya. Very, very much. Let me see here. No, I'm going with a buddy, and I have a... there's another person I'll be meeting there, and then there's another 2 people I'll be meeting there. Yeah, so... It should be a good little time. Should be a fun time. Go upstairs and check the other 2 Starbucks. For what? For what? Massage shops have opened. Nice to have them shouting at you again. I guess. I never have a problem with them, with massage shops shouting at me. You know, or not shouting at me. I don't really care. I don't particularly like the whole, you know, the bar thing when you're walking by and it's like, hey, mister, where you go? How long you stay at Pattaya? Oh, you're a handsome man. Please come inside me. Please come inside. Well, listen, I would, honestly, if it was safe, I would probably go to the United States. And I'd want to, honestly, I'd want to photograph the riots, what's going on. I'd want to give it a go. No, it's not rude at all. You want to know, you ask. They, you know, listen, one thing about Thai chicks is they do appreciate a curt nature. Short, blunt, to the point. Why is this thing lagging so much? Let's get it back up to speed there. Now, if you want to ask him, you ask him. You know, be the man. Don't be shy. Don't pull that bullshit. I really, you know, I need to ask you something, honey. And I don't know. I don't want you angry with me. So, yeah, they're gonna be like, dude, just fucking say what you want to say. That's what they're gonna do. You know. Now, if she's like really hot and you know damn well she's not a man, she might take it a little bit offense at that. But, you know. And she may, if you really can't tell, she may look at it like, this guy knows nothing about women or ladyboys, and him asking me shows his inexperience. Because most of the time you can tell. Not always, but most of the time. Somebody experienced, and you know, there's a rule. If you have any doubt, kick them out. That's the rule. What, for the fall? Oh, for the fall, like, I thought you meant for the fall, like as in, yeah, psh. You mean the fall. I mean, listen, if you're coming here for 6 months, what's the problem? You know, I don't see a problem coming here for 6 months. And if you got to pay, listen, you could probably find a decent place where you stay for 2 weeks for like $1,500, and you're gonna have to pay a couple extra $100 or whatever for the tests and everything else. So let's say all in you got to spend an extra $1,800. If you're staying for 6 months, it's no big deal. If you really want to stay here. For people who really want to stay here, now for me, I look at it like I go out and come back a lot. I mean, last year I probably went in and out of the country, and this is not really a lot for me, but enough to where, it makes me think about it, like 3, 4, 5 times. And so that means that every time I would come back, I'd have to do the same thing. Now think about that. If you spend 2 G's and you go out of the country 4 times, that's an extra $8,000 a year. I don't have that to spend. I damn sure better make the money up if I'm, going to go do something. And I surely can't take my family. And that's the thing that worries me about is, we wanted to, everybody come on over. See if the government likes that. But, we wanted to go this year sometime. And I don't know if we would have went or not. We may have. But we wanted to go this year and, visit my family and go do some things out there. And I had some things I need to take care of. I can't take care of here. But it looks like between the way things are in the United States and the way things are when it comes to getting back into the country, what do you've got to pay, when you've got to stay. I can't be taking out my whole family. I mean, it's like just stupid to do that. They don't have to go anywhere. They can stay here as long as they want. Me, I'm good for another year. I don't have any problem. But it doesn't mean I don't want to go somewhere, which is why I'm going to Pattaya, because it's close by, inexpensive. I don't have to cross a border. So makes it easier. I wouldn't mind going to Hua Hin or Prachuap or something. Maybe even go do that walk again. Walk across Thailand. That would be cool. Can we quarantine? What? Every visa run quarantine? Yeah. Every time you go out of the country. This is why people are bitching and moaning. That, and you may have a lot of people who maybe they're outside of the country, they can't get back in, and they're foreigners, and they got family here or whatever, and it's going to cost them money, and they may not have the money. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. There's nothing you can do at this point. Well, I don't know. Now, I can tell you one thing that the Thai government is doing is they are trying to forge relationships with other countries they deem to be safe and to allow people to come in to the country. Now, I don't know if that means doing away with the 14-day quarantine. But they're working on things. And, listen, say what you will about Thailand, but they have done a good job. And what I'm kind of wondering about is, are they going to end the automatic extension on July 31st? Or are they going to extend it? What are they going to do? I can't see them extending it. Which means everybody who needs a visa, if they need a visa and July 31st is their cutoff because of the automatic extension or 90-day report or whatever, means they're going to have to leave, or they're going to have to get their visa renewed or whatever. or their extension of stay. Anyway, what else is going on? Let's see here. If I can find anything interesting. Yeah, I don't think they're going to extend it. I don't know why they would. You know, if you have not already, please remember to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and click that little bell. That would be nice. I'm trying to get to 15,000 subscribers. And I haven't been doing real well as far as subscribers go, whether it's because they don't like what I'm saying, they don't like what I'm doing, they only want to view Thailand, or whether it's a lot of Chinese or Hong Kongers joined my channel during my time in Hong Kong when I did gain a lot of subscribers. So I'd appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Click the bell. Make sure to share this the stream, and leave a comment later on. You can always leave a comment, no problem. Now let's see here. Ex-Joint Chiefs Chair, sickened by action against DC protesters, says it's not appropriate to and like the stream. Well, I forgot about that, but yeah, like the stream. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Says not appropriate to call in the military. Retired Navy Admiral, a former chairman of the Joint Chief of Staffs, accused President Trump of disrespecting the right to protest and potentially politicizing the military. Listen, I'm sorry, I just don't buy into that shit. You got people marching on the White House who are not only protesting, but they are getting violent. They've already stuck them in the bunker once. Right? They stuck them in the bunker already. What are they going to do if they have like 500,000 people there who don't give a shit, and they're going to try to march and bust into the White House or something? What are they going to do? Well, at least if you've got the military there, you go, hey boys, you're all going to get shot. You're going to get what's coming to you. Of course he's full of shit. Who the hell isn't subscribed with the bell here? Yeah, I don't know. I've been following you since started. I'm very surprised you don't have way more subscribers. Maybe people really want to see these chowderhead videos. Maybe, but they're not going to. It's simple as that. I'm not going to do them. I'm not going to do them. I talk once in a while. I talk about some guy who has some problem or whatever with women, but I just don't want to do it anymore. And if that means me not having more subscribers, then oh well. It's the way it goes. And there are people out there. Honestly, there's people out there, and I'm not talking about Thai vloggers. I'm talking about people in general that have way more subscribers to me. And I look at it and I go, what the hell are people thinking? I don't understand it. But, it's not for me. Maybe because I don't like them, that doesn't mean a lot of other people don't like them. I got a letter. So there's things I want to do and things I don't want to do. Hey, somebody they shot me a good letter. Listen, I asked the guy the other day, or he asked me to go over his letter, and I said, listen, the only thing is, listen, if you don't want me to tell you, if you don't want me to say the specifics, if you want me to change the names, everything, I don't have a problem with that. But don't tell me what I can say, what I can't say. I don't want to get into that whole thing. Don't make stuff up. Tell me the truth. Because if it's fake, it makes no sense to me. I don't want to care about that, I feel you. You got to do what makes you happy. I enjoy your content either way. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I've been following since Scott stays on Happier Abroad. I think more videos would probably help rather than streams. Just don't sell out for more subs and views. I don't know how I'm going to sell out. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to sell out. I don't... You know, if you knew how much I'm making from this channel, you would know there's not a chance in hell I'm selling out. And I don't care if I was making 5 or 10 times more, I wouldn't sell out. I mean, you know, I am who I am. I don't care what anybody says, you know, and how they feel about me. I am who I am. It's simple as that. I'm not a gun guy at all, but if I was in the U.S., I would have a piece in my house. Well, yeah, why wouldn't you? You know, the only thing I feel good about in Florida is knowing that most Floridians have guns, and they can carry them. They can carry them. You know, a lot of them have guns in their cars, and if you mess around, they're going to shoot you. Same in Texas, same in Nevada. What's happening, Dre? They're going to get you, man. You know. And you know, I mean, listen. What do you think the Second Amendment? What do you think it's for? It's because listen, in a civilized society, people know, hey, you get into a fight and you beat somebody senseless, there's a good chance you're going to jail. Now, if you happen to be an old person or somebody who can't fight or somebody who is a lot smaller than the person and you don't have enough to be able to take care of yourself, you know, that's what laws are for, and that's what guns are for. And people don't seem to understand that. Believe me, I'd have a frickin' armory in my house if I could. I would. And anybody who tried, there's only really like 1 or 2 ways into my house. And, you know, if you think my old lady isn't, wouldn't shoot somebody coming into our house to hurt us, you're dead wrong. She would do it in a heartbeat, because for her it's about the kids and the family. You know, once you get older like me and you have a wife who's a little older. I mean, my wife is a fair amount younger than me, but she's starting to get older, and she has her brothers and sisters, but she doesn't have her mother and father. We are her family. She wants to protect it at all costs, you know? I think it's cool, man. You know, hey, down south, man, they don't mess around. People don't mess around. Oh, yeah, it sucks, Dre. It's really bad here. It's very difficult. I'm not going to say that I've never had a gun here, or I haven't been able to get one here, or I can't get one here. I can. I know some people, you know. I know some people, or I know some people who know some people. And if it got down to where I really needed one, it'd be a matter of making a phone call and taking a little bit of time to do whatever necessary to get it, but I could get one. And same with my wife. She could get one too. She can get one, yeah. You know, I don't think at this point we really are worried. It's not like things here are not like the United States. Things are not popping off here, you know. Now, I am going to go for a little walk through the mall, but I got to get myself set up here because the battery is running low. I've got my computer with me today because I did some writing, and I wanted to continue while I had the time here, but let me see here. All right, so we'll put that away. We'll get started. We'll go take a little walk around the mall. I don't have the gimbal, but I do have the nice tripod that is kind of weighted, and it works real well. You know, espresso is tasting worse for some reason. All right, let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna have to take out the take out the thingamajig. I don't know if I got the right one or not. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to take out the earphones here. Let's see, what do we got here? Friend who knows a friend who knows a friend. Well, pricier, but you know, when you need it, I just don't want to have anything that. Hang on a second, I gotta make sure that this thing is charging. All right, Longhorns, just for you. Let's see here. Just got back. Well, we're going. Let's see if I can do this. Hang on. Use the Thai Chana, which is Thai victory. Thai wins. There we go. Burger sling. See if I can get this thing level. There we go. Wait. Too much. All right. There are people here. This thing has to be set perfect or it doesn't work that well. Well, this place is open now. These were all closed, these Israeli sea salt cosmetic places. I think I've been to Black Canyon. Well, I've been there before. It's they have good food, but I don't go there out of principle. You see, this is the social distancing. You on this floor? Yes. All right, so Starbucks is on this floor. it pretty much looks the same as, you know, there's just less people. Less people in Starbucks for sure, but less people in the mall for sure. And everybody's got masks on. And they got it set up to where social distancing. You're looking at the wonderful, the mall Bangkok, a wonderful place where I visit several times a week. This is Thailand, my friends, in its purest sense. Well, pure in the sense of modern Thailand. You wouldn't call this traditional Thailand. Let me see if I can do this. Just doesn't, it's not set right. Hang on. There we go. That's right. Oh, I've seen it a lot empty, more empty than this, but that was, you know, a month or so plus ago. Black Canyon Coffee, their food is very good. Yes, definitely. I won't go there though, and the reason I won't go there is because, and I've told this story before. I went in once. There's nobody in there. Went with my wife. She orders her food. I order my food. Hang on. I'm waiting and waiting. She gets her food. You know, 15, 20 minutes later, my food hasn't come. I'm like, where's my food? And there's nobody there. They're all just sitting around laughing and joking. They forgot to make my food, or they just didn't want to make my food. And so I said, you know, this is not good, you know. But I think I canceled the order. I don't even remember at this point. But I wrote the Black Canyon main office, and they said, you know, we've had a lot of complaints about the service in Thailand, and I'm sorry, but there's nothing we can do. And I was like, what? So I just went, you know what? I'm not going to go. And I just haven't been back. There's the reason is because, for me, the reason I'll go back is not because I don't want to go there. It's because there's plenty of other places to go. Now, my little phone place, they've left. Look at this. Just to get into True. Social distancing entrance. What, am I going the wrong way? Looks like it. Or maybe this is just for True. You want to go into iPhone on the top floor here? Not the iPhone store, but the little one in the mall, Power Mall. Guess what? See all the people sitting there? That's what they're waiting to get into. And so we're going to go over here. Now this thing is weighed out real nice. I'm not doing much. You'll see a lot of people sitting. We'll go to the other Starbucks. I think the movie theaters are now open. Nicholas has been out a couple of times with his buddies, but he didn't go to a movie. Hellfire Missile. Do I go to Siam Paragon? I do occasionally. when I need something from there. It really depends on what I need. I bought Hugo Boss from, I don't know if it was Cyan Paragon or, I think it was Cyan Paragon in the past. And I go there for certain things. I went there for outdoor equipment. But most of the time I can get anything I need right here. Other than name brand cross, which usually I don't buy. You know, I'm talking about, you know, Gucci, Armani. I'm not buying that kind of shit now. Yeah, but they, you know, they have the Ferragamo stuff. You don't have to go. I mean, I live a ways from there, man. You're talking about an hour to an hour and a half away, depending on traffic. I don't need to go there. You know, if I'm gonna go somewhere, I'll find a store. I could find a Ferragamo store closer than that, you know, so no reason for me to go there. I'll tell you the place I don't like, just because it's a pain in the ass to get in and out. It's easy to get there, so getting in is pretty easy. But getting out is a bit of a bitch, and that's Mabon Krong. You know, every store has tables, booths, and they all have stickers on the tables where you can sit, where you can't sit. Everything is, it's 11 o'clock, so the cinema is open if you look straight ahead. But this is not, I guess it's not open. The cinema maybe, yeah, it looks like it's opens at 11:30. Swenson's open. Music, yeah, all right. Just what I need, music. Another one demonetized. I have to say that for all the bitching I do and for all the bitching other people do about YouTube demonetizing their videos, I've had 5 videos in about the last 10 days, 2 weeks, demonetized. Out of those, they reviewed all of them, or all but one, I think. No, they reviewed all of them. And 3 of them have been remonetized. So only 2 out of 5 were demonetized. And one was speaking of Thai tourism. Furniture stores are open. This place is closed, shut down. Longhorn's Minato has been open for quite some time, but they don't have very many customers, man. I'll be surprised if I won't be surprised if they shut down. I hope not, though. See if the camera store is open. Anybody want to see anything else? Not really. I mean, you know, some of the restaurants have a fair number of people. Here you go, Gennaro, for you. Sony. The foosball? What, upstairs? No. There's a foosball place upstairs, if that's what you're talking about. All the game places are still not open yet. I don't think they're going to open until the January 15th. And then July 1st, you know, hopefully the border will open up, and then by August 1st, hopefully everything will be back to normal except for entering the country. Yeah, it's open. D5 body. Ooh, Jesus Christ, only 192,000. That's all. Nothing I want. All right, so let's go downstairs and we'll take a look at Minato. Take a little walk around, see the birds or whatever, and then... Oh, shit. Went the wrong way. I'd like to leave today for Pattaya, but it's not going to happen. Oops. Look at this. Properly distanced. Oh. Another camera store. Big camera. Everybody wants to be part of the elite. Join the elite at Watson's. Yes, Watson's drugstore. You need to be in the elite. Scott and Billy. Let's go over and take a look at the birds. You see, this place is a lot busier than the place that I go to across the street. Look at the gold prices. Freaking outrageous. Almost 26,000 baht, which is a little over $800. And when I came here, it was like $150. Should have bought a shitload of gold when I first got over here. They don't have the birds out. No birds today. Lots of fish though. No birds. Here's the Apple store. Oh, they don't have a limit on the number of people coming in now. And you don't have to sign in. Wow. You are supposed to sign in. There's the QR code. But see the QR code over there? But look at this. Nobody's signing in. Nobody's signing out. How many times you got to sign in and out, you know? I mean, you know, I understand they're trying to pinpoint where someone got ill, if they, you know, where have they been. But you see, before it was 10, I think it was 10 people or 7 people allowed in. And now they've got, you know, quite a bit more, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, they got like 12 people, plus the employees, 15, 20 people all together in the back. Anyway, We'll take a walk by Minato for Mr. Longhorns. Got great food there. Nicholas had some Dairy Queen the other day. He said, yeah, but not all of them are open. He's like, there's one on every floor, which I didn't know that. I didn't know there was one on every floor. So they've moved. It looks like some people have moved the plastic barriers in between these things right over here on the table. They've moved them. Some people are just like, hey, listen, oh, they're open here. Wow, Honaji. Here's Minato. Nobody here. It's a little bit early for people to be eating here, but they got a 15% discount. They did away with the sanitation spray by the door. It's been gone for a couple of weeks. And what I don't understand is they would let people come in. You don't have to sign in. You didn't have to do anything. I had some unagi a couple weeks ago. It was all I had for like lunch. It was very, very good. Loves me some unagi. I want to find a place to sit. All right. Right over here. Social distancing. All right, here we go. So, let's see how I do this here. There it is. All right. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Show you what's going on over here. At Watson's. Shall I walk across the street? Does anybody care? Are you that bored? I'll give you a view of what's going on Lot Prow Road. I don't really need anything from the grocery. I'm not going in. Had my coffee. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. We'll call it a day once I get over there. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, I messed it up. There we go. All right, let's get out of here. This guy, no mask. The chick got a mask on. She's wearing one. He's not. Huh. Still haven't figured out what to do in Pattaya. Oh, you will. Believe me. Think I like this shit? Look, I'm sweating. It doesn't do a whole hell of a lot. I've got about 4 or 5 masks, plus what we got stashed. You know, a couple packs, but 4 or 5 I use all the time, and it's like, at this point, I'm like, you got one person. That's it, one person. So what's the point if you have one person in the whole country? You know? To keep it from spreading? I don't know. Whatever, you know? You just do it, whether you like it or not. And that's how it works, you know? What are you gonna do? You're not gonna fight it. You can do it and not wear it. You can just not wear it, like the guy was just back there. But as a foreigner especially, you run the risk of having some problems. You know. Now I'm gonna have to sign out here because I can't go on to the thing, and I don't want to scan it. And although this guy just walked right out. There we go. Oops. People are starting to not scan out, scan in. This guy just walked right out. And I did the same, you know. It's so hot out here. All right, now look at this. And over here, SkyTrain. It made a lot of headway. Can't really see much, but I don't know what the latest completion date is. I don't even pay attention to it anymore because I see it all the time, so I'm just like, you know. Yeah, I don't know how many lines. I think it's two in this area. There's one here and one over on Ramkhamhaeng, but they have other ones being built. I don't know what's done, what's not. I haven't taken it, you know, for a couple of months, so I haven't worried about it. But you can see now what they're doing. I love this right here. Now the problem is if I go through here, they are going to make me sign in and out. I don't want to, so I'll just go down. Man, it's hot. Look at this. There's nobody standing here. It's all on the honor system. And look, people just walking in and out. I don't know how it's not dangerous. They manage though. They are making an effort to clean that up. Wow. This place is gone now, huh? Gold shop. It's hotter in the blazes here with this thing on, man. Ugh. I don't know if you can see the sweat on my head, sweat in my mouth. What do you think? I mean, I don't have a real reason to go somewhere. Unless I have a real reason to go somewhere, I don't want to be out in traffic, because to beat the traffic, you know, I take the boat. Sometimes I take the bus because it's just easier. And, you know, it's a lot cheaper. And also I don't really want to be on the public transportation yet. I mean, I will. But I don't really have anything that's so important I need to be going across town or something like that. Now, you know, if Jono has a problem in the hospital, I'll go over there to him, help him out. He's got a friend or two over there, Thai friend or two, that can help him. But I think he's waiting on his insurance, so he should be okay. This is the worst mask that I have. And I have the N95. I have some black ones. I have just like 5 different kinds. But this one I wear because it's the lightest and it's the most comfortable. I have another one that just completely pulls my ears. Whew. They're really trying hard to make this place nicer, and they changed the floor. The flooring is a little nicer. You can see the little red dots on the floor. You see they got the little thing here. I've got to wear a mask, shield, and no mask. Fuck. I don't want to wear anything. To be honest, I don't want to wear anything. If this is the new normal, then I don't want normal. Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much. We're almost over to the coffee shop here, where I'm just gonna stop. I got a couple little things to do on my phone, and get some stuff from 7-Eleven. So a little bit longer stream today. Hang on a second here. See if I can do this. 5 baht tip. Heat is brutal, man. I don't know what these girls' names are. I know them by face. I don't know their names. I know one girl here. That's it. One girl's name. Say it's from you. Oh, okay. Hey, honey, the 5 baht tip came from Mr. Longhorns. He like you so much. He like you very, very much. Oh man. Actually, there's a lot of people in here for how many have been in here lately. It's been next to none. I really don't need this coffee either. But you can see once people come into this place, or they come into a restaurant, or then everybody takes their mask off. Looks packed compared to Starbucks. I think the next stop after Pattaya, the next stop may be down there by Prachuap, or somewhere like that, where I can go out and you're just amongst Thais. There's no foreigners. There's very few where I would be. There's very few, chain stores or chain coffee shops, stuff like that. It's all about. Okay, give to me. Good job. All right. Yes, I've been to Chumpon many times. Chumpon, Cha'am, Prachuap, Hua Hin, Nakhon Si Thammarat, Nakhon Ratchasima, Udon Thani, Sakel. I like to go down to the south, to be honest. I don't like the background here. Shit. Yeah, I'd like to go down to the south to Suratani, get away for a little while, but I don't think that's going to happen. Gennaro, there you go. She's a bit older. But you can have her, Gennaro. Man, it is hot. Very hot. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. The next time I stream is either going to be Friday, or it's going to be maybe Saturday morning, maybe Saturday night. I don't know yet. Depends, but I'm leaving Saturday. And I'll be in Pattaya until Monday. Maybe longer, who knows, but I think until Monday. I have some meetups to do, and I'm sure we'll figure out a few things to do. So anyway, slowly but surely we're getting back into the role. I want to get back out there, start taking photos, take some photos down in Pattaya. So anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Don't forget to click the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. And don't forget to stay safe, especially if you're in America. Yeah, bye-bye, Mr. Longhorns. Cheers. Arrivederci. Bon voyage. Adios. What else? That's enough. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later, okay? Time to go.